everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome. Happy Memorial Day. It's Monday. Hope you're having a wonderful day. If you're in the United States, happy Memorial Day. All right, let's talk. It's been one of those weekends where you end up in a rabbit hole and you're like, how did I get in here? How did this happen? What's going on? That was my weekend with a story related to Audrey, Jeremy Roloff, and their mentors, Matt and Lisa Jacobson. It's been one of those heavy weekends with lots of information flying at us, lots of things to digest, lots of things to uncover, and a lot of questions from fans. Jeremy and Audrey Roloff are of the Roloff family who has been on our TVs since 2006 when Little People Big World debuted on TLC. The show has taken time off from here and there. It follows the Roloff family, and at the time, Jeremy and Zach were around 13 years old. There are 4 children in the family: Molly, Jacob, Zach, and Jeremy, who are twins. And 3 of the children have since left the show: Jeremy and Audrey in 2018, Jacob and his wife, and Molly and her husband. The only remaining child on the show is Zach and his wife Tori and their 2 children. That hasn't stopped this family from remaining in the headlines, but a lot of people have been watching from afar or sort of under the radar of what Jeremy and Audrey have been up to. Jeremy and Audrey, when they left the show, started a podcast and seemed to be involved with these people that had maybe some right of the center, very right of the center in regards to beliefs. Their podcast talks a lot about their belief in traditional biblical roles in the marriage, all kinds of issues with their marriage in regards to that. They consistently have on people like Matt and Lisa Jacobson. They've had Dale Partridge on. They've had the Tolpins on. They've had Jeremy and Ginger Boulot on. They've had a lot of guests on this podcast. And the interesting thing is they also have written a book about marriage, because they've been married for 32 seconds. Well, an expose done by Miss God is Gray, Brenda, last week, which revealed that Matt and Lisa Jacobson were up to no good with what they were teaching and instructing in their program, and Jeremy and Audrey being mentors or mentees of this group. They are heavily involved with this group. In fact, Matt and Lisa Jacobson are proudly on their podcast. Their photos are on Matt's webpage, and Matt and Lisa Jacobson's daughter, Cambria, was Audrey's assistant for more than 4 years. So obviously, with the expose coming out, fans had a lot of questions wanting to know if they are utilizing the techniques that his daughter Stell, Matt's daughter Stell, claims were used in the home against her and her siblings. Stell is one of 8 children, and she had very awful things to say about the way her father raised her, and it was not a happy household, according to Stell. Now, with that being said, Stell admitted that anyone that her father mentors is teaching this specific discipline technique in their home, and so a lot of people have been wanting to know whether or not Jeremy and Audrey were going to say anything. The other individuals that were a part of this group that was in the video by Brenda have already come out and said that they do not ascribe to the teachings or that specific teaching by Matt Jacobson. But Jeremy and Audrey have been incredibly mum. Now, finally, Audrey went onto social media and posted a quick video on her Instagram and broke her silence and shared a message from a fan that I think is a rather telling statement for what she feels like and what their plans are for moving forward. There's been some rumblings that they are going to try to ignore this, don't want to deal with it, and they're going to pretend like this never happened. Unfortunately, fans aren't quick to forget, especially when things are related to the topic in which Stell brought up. I don't want to say it because I don't want to be demonetized, but here is what Audrey shared on her Insta video, and then I'll show you the clip, the actual message from the fan.
To be honest, I have not been the best at checking my DMs lately ever since we have been working so hard to finish this book. But I did come across one this morning that was just so encouraging, and I just want to say it's so encouraging anytime we receive messages like this. So thank you.
Okay, So what I first, before we even go to the message, what I thought was interesting is when she said like that they weren't checking their DMs because they were working on their book, she looked down. She didn't look right up, and she was looking up the entire time. I'll show you again just so you can see it. But this was the part where I was just like, I don't know if she's being honest here. I feel like she was trying to think of a reason why she hasn't been online, because they haven't been responding at all to comments. Brenda's video came out last Monday. She hasn't posted anything in a week, and now this is what she's posting. So check.
To be honest, I have not been the best at checking my DMs lately ever since we have been working so hard to finish this book.
So she's looking down there where she's saying like to finish this book.
But I did come across one this morning that was just so
and then the entire time, the only time that she looks down or she's not looking forward is when she has to make up an excuse for why she hasn't been online. That sends to me, and I'm obviously not a body language expert, but if you're making...
I've not been the best at checking my DMs lately ever since we have been working so hard to finish this book.
That's the only time she looks down.
But I did come across one this morning that was just...
There you go. So the only time she looks down is when she has to come up with an excuse, in my opinion, of why she hasn't been checking her DMs, and then claims it's because she and Jeremy are writing yet another book, because, you know, after 6 years of marriage, they have so much expertise to share with you about what, you know, their lives are all about. This is what this group does. They have podcasts, they write books, they sell programs, and they want you to buy all these products about their belief systems. So the message in which she shared is this. And it's from a fan that says, "This is so completely out of character for me to reach out to someone I don't know, but I just finished reading your book with tears streaming down my face. Thank you for writing your love story for others to revel in. I know it isn't perfect, but it's true and real and raw. I found myself challenged in my own marriage and also wanting to share all I had read with a friend who is engaged and a friend who is also in a long distance relationship. Your story is spreading the love of God to so many that may need a glimpse of hope that they might not have gotten otherwise. So thank you for being real and sharing your love with the world." This, I feel like, is not accidental. She, in my opinion, doesn't want to actually talk about the allegations, right? So she has got to make up an excuse for her book, and then she shows this. It's what's at the end of this that makes me feel like this is like either narcissism or I don't want to talk about it, but rather let's not talk about this stuff that's over here that's bad. Let's talk about how Jeremy and I are spreading the word of God and helping and giving people so much hope that they wouldn't already have. We are doing such great things for this world, you guys. We are giving hope and sharing our love story. A love story that's so new. In fact, they've been married for 5 years, writing their second book. So let's ignore the fact that you have in 2016 talked about blanket time with your daughter and recently posted a video where you teased your daughter into not touching a cupcake, which is something that Michael Pearl instructs parents to do to tempt their children in his book, To Train Up the Child, in chapter 1. So we'll do that. We'll get into that whole scenario in another video. But rather, instead of addressing the elephant in the room and coming out and like saying, we don't ascribe to this, then it's your story is spreading the love of God to so many that may need a glimpse of hope that might not have gotten otherwise. We're giving hope, you guys. People are learning from us. We are providing teaching tools. We're teaching people about being submissive in marriages. We're teaching them about biblical gender roles. We're teaching them about being, that there's only biblical genders. We're teaching them about, having the man be the leader and the woman not be, and, having a mother be at home and the man be at work. Okay? But not addressing this. Now, people are getting irritated on her Instagram. I don't want to show you all of the comments because I've already showed you a million. But let me just say that people are starting to write on her Instagram that the longer you ignore this, the more it looks like you're guilty. The fact that you're not denouncing this, the fact that you're not separating yourself from this, the fact that you're completely ignoring it, people think proves that they are doing these same things. I can't say for sure certain, but I know in 2016 she did talk about blanket time, and I also know she did a toddler challenge which is comparable to something that Michael Pearl instructs in his book, To Train Up a Child. So I cannot say for certain that they're doing these things, but it's not looking like you're very, I don't know, innocent people with such an allegation like this would immediately come out and say, I have no part of this. I am not doing this. This is it, right? They don't just stay silent and stand by someone whose daughter has made very big claims. When you are so close to this family, when their own daughter Cambria was an assistant, wouldn't you want to stand up for that family and be like, oh, Stella, I'm so sorry. I can't believe that happened to you? Or would you rather believe the man who's instructing you and having you do all these, mentor classes that's taught you and you have admitted has been a fundamental and foundational mentor in your marriage and your family? So, what are your thoughts? Is her breaking her silence and claiming that she's helping God and other people see the light of God enough for you to believe that she's not a part of this? Or is the fact that she refuses to address this continue to prove that she's guilty? Obviously, they haven't denounced it, so we can't say either way. Without a Crystal Ball is not accusing anyone of anything in this video. All right, you guys, I'll be back later with more.